Hello and welcome to my latest weekly property news from Madison's. Well, of course, one of Labour's massive manifesto pledges was that they would build more houses. And only last week I talked about the new towns that might be coming. Well, this week they announced the introduction of possible fines on developers if they are delayed on their house building targets. So what they are proposing, this is Angela Rayner, the Deputy Prime Minister's big pledge, is that they are proposing that when developers submit planning permission, they have to include detailed timelines. And then if they fall behind those, they have to submit annual returns to say how they're doing against them. If they fall behind, they can, by 10% or more, they can suffer fines, which is based on a loss of council tax revenue and impact to the community. So it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out. There is no doubt that Labour are very keen to try and deliver on this big pledge. But of course, Sky News came out last week and rumoured that maybe Angela Rayner will lose the remit for delivering this housing target within her pledge. And that's mainly because it involves a lot of money for her to deliver it, and she's feeling there isn't the money. There's rumours about how she's been asking Rachel Reeves, the Chancellor, to increase income tax on savings, to increase more money for the housing promises. And of course, if she can't get that, there's a rumour that she might be ousted from the job in a bit of a political reshuffle. So they're definitely on it. They're definitely watching it. And they certainly want these houses to be built. And obviously these fines on developers, which you would hope keep them very focused. But it's just such a complex, complicated whirlwind. And I think maybe a less aggressive target in understanding the time that it takes to get these things in measure might have been a bit more prudent. We will watch and see as always, but fascinating story about corruption within the housing market going on in Greater Manchester. Mayor Burnham, so basically the Treasury put aside a fund for many, many towns and cities to develop their brownfield areas, urban regeneration as we call it, to develop more social housing. And so the Treasury gave a large fund to Greater Manchester, and Mayor Burnham is currently being investigated for 400 million of that going predominantly to a private developer to deliver luxury homes, so not the social affordable housing, because of course socially affordable housing is not as lucrative for developers. Where they make their money is in the big swanky high value sales, and the social housing just doesn't deliver the same returns. So if a developer can build more of these executive glamorous style homes, then they're happy. So yeah, it's all going on in the world of new builds at the moment. What's happening in the wider housing market? Well, prices were up in April on year basis, up 3.2%, as opposed to March year on year was 2.9%. That is expected to be that is felt to be because of the increasing mortgage rates, which is creating more affordability in the market, which means buyers can afford a bit more, so they don't have to haggle quite so hard. But of course, April had a surprise inflation figure in there, didn't it? 3.6% up against March's figure, which was well within target. So Bank of England predicted to do 2 base rate drops this year. I don't know if they will, to be honest. We will wait and see. Maybe one. We'll have to see what happens to inflation. Of course, they raise interest rates to make people have less money in their pockets to spend on disposable items, which should curb inflation. That's the basic economic laws of what happens with interest rates. So the two are quite closely aligned. So that surprise on that April inflation figure, up almost 1% on what it was in March. Let's wait and see. Well, 2 exciting new magazines that I can tell you about. Well, not new, but new editions. So The Business has just brought out their latest edition. Lovely picture at the front here of Carol Barazzoni, who has taken over the fabulous Noel Grange. Beautiful place, actually. Very, very picturesque. Just to the south of Tunbridge Wells. But turn to page 70 as my latest article, all about the importance of when you step inside a property, how to present your property to its very, very best. Last month I did first impressions. This one I did all in the detail once you're inside. I don't know what I'm going to do next month yet. I will have a think about that. I'll be having to write it very soon. And our latest At Home magazine is out, our 2025 edition. It takes so much work to pull this together. So thank you to all of our collaborators in here who we feel very proud to be affiliated against, various local businesses. But it will tell you more about Madison's. There's some success stories from last year, current properties we've got available, but lots of useful tips, styling your home, which area might be right for you, schooling guide, all that sort of things, lettings information, so lots of useful stuff in there. And of course, we are in the depths of half term, so if you are feeling a little bit lost of what to do with your children, then the fabulous My Tunbridge Wells has just published 75 things that you can do with your children in and around Tunbridge Wells. So thank you, Claire Lush, as always, for that. Such a great publication. Sign up for it if you don't get it already. It will keep you entertained. I hope you have a lovely week. I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye-bye.